History is full of firsts.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Many of those firsts shaped our way of life. For 70 years, KPRC Channel 2 has been proud to be pioneers in shaping television and Houston history.
In a state the size of Texas, I hope everyone can enjoy.
Calls in the storms Thursday.
Minutes before 9 o'clock, the crew's here telling her.
This is the first time in a long they had 11. Send us some of your pictures.
Isn't it good to work for a place that has a sense of history? And indeed it is.
See, taking the president from Spring to College Station following.
If you have something you'd like Channel 2 Investigates to check out, call the tip line at 713-223-TIPS or email investigates@click2houston.com. Live from KPRC, this is Channel 2 News Today.
Get ready for a frosty blast this morning. Temperatures are in the 40s and the 50s, not just this morning, all day. Britt is tracking the wind advisory that's going to make it feel even colder as you get out the door this morning.
Centers for Disease Control is warning Americans be prepared as the coronavirus nears global pandemic status.
Now, it's not so much a question of if this will happen anymore, but rather more a question of exactly when this will happen and how many people in this country will become infected.
I have the latest details on the spread of coronavirus and a new clinical trial that could mean a treatment is on the way.
Well, Tillman Fertitta, he's worth billions of dollars, but in a story you'll see only on 2 this morning, you'll hear from the woman who says she paid for his identity for $10. We're talking about how she did it. Coming up.
Wednesday, the 26th of February at 4:30. Good morning. I'm Owen Conflenti.
And I'm Amy Davis. Justin Stapleton is here tracking our traffic this morning. Hello.
Hi there. I'm not going to lie. It's a little weird on this side.
Right?
I'm like, I've got to get left oriented to everything.
Takes some getting used to. So.
Yeah, it totally does. So, yeah, it's all quiet out there so far this morning. So, but I tell you, coming in, it was breezy going 59 heading over towards Minute Maid Park. So 10 and 2 today for sure. No Brittany.
Yeah, especially on the flyovers. You're going to feel it on the side of your car.
Yeah.
And the wind is coming in, you know, from the northeast. So if you are going to be driving down to the southwest, you're going to feel on one side of the car. You know how it goes. So hold on tight, folks. This is a look outside. Not looking bad, but you can see the camera wiggling around. Temperature-wise, we've definitely cooled down. We're in the low 50s right now, but it feels slightly cooler. And our temperatures are actually going to continue to drop over the next 5 to 6 hours as that cold air is really settling in behind yesterday's cold front. Wind advisory starts at 6 a.m., lasts through 6 o'clock this evening. If it's trash day in your neighborhood, pay attention to that. The wind should not get strong enough to cause damage, but it's going to get in the way of your daily living. Right now, they are coming in from the northwest, about 15 to 20 miles per hour. That is the sustained wind right now in Conroe. Definitely going to be very windy as we go throughout the remainder of the day. Temperature-wise, 48 degrees in Huntsville right now, 53 degrees at Bush Airport, upper 50s currently at the coast. But when you factor in the wind, it is going to feel slightly cooler once the temperatures start to drop. Right now, we're still in the 50s, but as we drop to the 40s, it's going to add that little chill to the air. Meanwhile, as we go into the afternoon, no real big warm up. As I said, we're going to continue to cool off between now and 9 a.m. Then we try and have a warm up, but we're only going to be getting into the low to mid 50s. We'll talk about what we're expecting for the remainder of our work week coming up. Let's get you over to Justin with an update on westbound traffic.
All right, thank you very much, B. Yeah, it's all quiet out there so far. We've only got one spot as you get up on towards the North Beltway. A little bit of slow going on the outbound lane there on 45 North Freeway. Otherwise, jumping a little tighter on the loop. Things are clean and green so far. We certainly like to see that. We'll keep a watch on all of this, but still, as I mentioned, it is very breezy out there. This is a live look from right here at the West Loop on the Katy Freeway. Pretty quiet so far. Hopefully, we'll keep it that way for a good chunk of the morning. Drive time's not too bad. If you're out towards Mason Road, you're out in the Katy area working in, it's still at about 22 minutes. Obviously, that's going to pick up as we get closer to about 5:30, 6 o'clock. And then same thing westbound there, looking A-OK to the East Loop from 146. No problems expected there. So drive times look pretty good so far. We're looking anywhere from right around 12 minutes in from LaPorte. If you're coming in from the east side over to Baytown, 16 minutes, 24 from up in the Woodlands. And right now, 288. I saw one little slow over on the side. Looks like that got taken care of. So right now, it's just 10 minutes coming in from the south side as well, guys. We'll continue to keep things watch here in the old traffic center.
All right, thank you, Justin. We're following breaking news now from the city of Georgetown. That's right outside of Austin. 2 police officers have been shot there. This all started last night around 11 with a 911 call of a break-in. Well, police tell us when the first officer showed up to that scene, he immediately got into a gunfight with the suspect. That officer was shot in both of his legs. A second officer then showed up at the scene. The suspect started shooting at this female officer, but she returned fire, hitting and killing the suspect. The female officer was shot in the foot. Both officers are now in stable condition.
Also breaking this morning, Marathon oil workers are trying to contain a massive fire at an oil refinery in Carson, California. That's outside of Los Angeles. It's unclear if anyone's been hurt. This is the largest refinery on the West Coast. The large fire temporarily shut down the 405 freeway. It did reopen about a half hour after the fire started. Folks living nearby said their homes shook from the explosion. The NBC affiliate in Los Angeles is reporting the flames could be seen as far as 20 miles away. It's 4:35 and new this morning. A man's recovering in the hospital after crashing his motorcycle in northeast Harris County. He was riding down eastbound Houston near Hirsch, and they say he didn't see the truck that was stopped at the light ahead of him. He hit the brakes but lost control and fell off the motorcycle. Paramedics rushed him to Memorial Hermann downtown. Investigators say it appears the man was not wearing a helmet. They don't know if he'll survive the accident.
A Greenspoint area community is on edge this morning after a 10-year-old boy was shot. And investigators say it was his 19-year-old aunt who accidentally pulled the trigger. The shooting was reported yesterday evening at the Chisholm Trail Apartments near Rankin Road. That child underwent surgery and is expected to survive. Sheriff Ed Gonzalez says all of this was preventable.
There was an unsecured weapon inside the home. The female indicates that she retrieved that weapon to take pictures. And in the course of taking pictures, the gun went off and struck the child.
Deputies say the woman is cooperating with the investigation.
Well, most people in Houston probably have heard of Tillman Fertitta. He's a TV personality, owner of Landry's, Golden Nugget, and hey, the billionaire owner of the Rockets.
Yeah.
Maybe have heard of him. Well, mother of 2, Stephanie Hunter says she had never heard of him when she stole his identity for $10 on the dark web. And in an interview you'll see only on 2, Hunter told us why she did it.
It was, spur of the moment. It wasn't, I do apologize for it. It wasn't something that, like, I do on a regular basis or anything like that.
Hunter wasn't able to buy anything. Identity theft protection company LifeLock caught the theft and alerted Tillman. He called police before Hunter could buy anything. Investigators confiscated 7 computers, a half a dozen credit cards, a driver's license, and social security card from Hunter's home, each with a different name. Hunter faces a felony charge of fraudulent use of identifying information.
And that sounds like a commercial for LifeLock.
Well, there is that.
Yeah. Hey, this morning, the CDC is warning the coronavirus is likely on the verge of triggering a global pandemic.
So they're urging the American public, all of us, to prepare for when, not if, this larger outbreak hits the United States. So, of course, that has Houstonians talking about it, taking precautions. Here you go. An N95 respirator mask. That's the item that it's the most sought after right now in the world because of coronavirus. A Spring Branch medical supply company says it's getting hard to keep them on the shelves. In fact, even large chain stores have started restricting sales.
And even though the coronavirus is currently contained in the U.S., the Trump administration is now requesting $2.5 billion to prepare. They're urging Americans to stay alert. So far, there are no therapies approved for treating the Wuhan coronavirus, but clinical trials are underway at the University of Nebraska. National Institutes of Health scientists using an antiviral that was tested for Ebola and SARS, which is also caused by a type of coronavirus.
Normally it takes months and months for these trials to be up and running, and now we're talking about weeks. In the trial, they have to have the coronavirus test positive, and they're going to have signs of lung infection that it's like signs of pneumonia.
So the first participant is one of the Americans who was brought to the U.S. after being quarantined on the Diamond Princess cruise ship in Japan. Coming up in our 5 o'clock hour, health reporter Haley Hernandez looks at how Memorial Hermann Hospital is now preparing for the outbreak.
More than 80,000 people are sick because of coronavirus. It's killed more than 2,700 people, a vast majority in China. The outbreak, though, is spreading quickly in South Korea. That country now has more than 1,200 confirmed cases and 11 deaths. Japan's total of nearly 900 cases puts it in third behind China and South Korea. Still, Japanese officials maintain local organizers are going as planned for the Tokyo Olympics, despite the threat of the spreading coronavirus. This is an effort, of course, to downplay. There's an Olympic Committee member who said that they have a 3-month window to decide the fate of the games.
Well, Christians around the globe will start the Lenten season with a visit to church this morning. Ash Wednesday starts Lent. It lasts 40 days leading up to Easter Sunday. Many believers will mark the occasion with an ash cross on their forehead that represents the death and repentance. Some also choose to fast or give up something they enjoy for the Lenten period. Easter Sunday this year falls on April 12th. Well, they're called the Silence Breakers, a group of women who helped kick off the Me Too movement by opening up about Harvey Weinstein.
So coming up this morning, how those women are reacting to Weinstein's guilty verdict.
And I hope you enjoyed spring yesterday, because winter is back, and it's back big. So we are waking up to cold temperatures and strong winds. Right now our winds coming in at 21 miles per hour in Galveston. I'll give you the information on a wind advisory coming up.
2 News at 10.
KPRC is celebrating Black History Month, and the city of Houston has been displaying pieces from famed photographer Early Hudnall all month.
Yeah, and today, Hudnall will host a free artist talk at 3 this afternoon at City Hall. Hudnall's work, which highlights Houstonians living in 4th Ward, has been featured across the country, including at the Smithsonian and the National Museum of African American History and Culture in Washington. It was also the inspiration for the Academy Award-winning Best Picture film, Moonlight. Well, the Democratic candidates pulled no punches, if you will, in the debate last night, but this time it turned their attention to Bernie Sanders, who's the frontrunner.
Yeah, coming up, the highlights from the South Carolina debate. It is 4:45 this morning. Taking a look outside, it's 53 degrees. Pretty windy, though. Britta Merwin will have our full forecast in just a few moments. And don't forget that you can get up-to-the-minute information about your commute anytime. You just head to our website, click2houston.com/traffic. Justin has your full traffic forecast coming up in just a few moments.
All right, let's check some top stories around the nation right now. 7 candidates took the stage in the South Carolina debate last night. So the debate before that, it seemed like Michael Bloomberg was the target punching bag. Last night, it was Bernie Sanders as the punching bag.
Bernie and I agree on a lot of things, but I think I would make a better president.
Bernie, in fact, hasn't passed much of anything. Imagine spending the better part of 2020 with Bernie Sanders versus Donald Trump.
Bernie Sanders' analysis is right. The difference is I don't like his solutions.
At one point, they were all talking about him at the same time, and he had his arms like flailing, like, hey, come on, guy. Like the whole panel was going after him. They went after Bloomberg as well. He took his fair share of blows, trying to rebound from the poor performance a lot of folks said he had at the last debate. Candidates are campaigning in South Carolina because their primary in South Carolina is this weekend. We're less than a week away from Texas's primary, which falls on what's known as Super Tuesday. It's super because of all those states there in yellow on the map. A lot of delegates up for grabs. We posted information about early voting at click2houston.com.
Convicted rapist Harvey Weinstein still in the hospital this morning. His attorneys say he suffered a medical emergency after being found guilty in his sexual assault trial. His bond was revoked pending sentencing, and he was ordered to Rikers Island. But on the way there, he was taken to Bellevue Hospital because of chest pains and heart palpitations. Women who accused Weinstein of sexual assault say the conviction is a triumph for the Me Too movement.
Today is truly a landmark moment for survivors of rape and sexual assault, in that the public is seeing that men, even a man as powerful and famous as Weinstein, will be held accountable for their abuse of women.
Weinstein is expected to be sentenced March 11th. He faces a minimum of 5 years and a maximum of more than 2 decades in prison. Weinstein's attorneys say they will appeal the verdict.
Bill O'Brien making some big announcements about the Texans at the NFL Combine this year. Here's Sports Director Randy McIlvoy with where the team stands on contract negotiations with Deshaun Watson and Laramie Tunsil.
Good morning. Welcome into the Xfinity Sports Desk. Here's what's happening. The NFL Combine has started in Indianapolis, and yesterday we heard from head coach Bill O'Brien for the first time since the regular season and postseason ended. His first comments as the new GM of this team and, of course, the head coach. OB spoke for about 20 minutes or so at the podium in Indy yesterday. His big announcement, he is now giving up the play calling duties and said he's now handing that task to offensive coordinator Tim Kelly starting this spring and, of course, next season. Now, Kelly will be calling plays for the quarterback Deshaun Watson, set to enter his 4th year and in line for a contract extension. Another key guy in contract talks is offensive tackle Laramie Tunsil. Yesterday, O'Brien expressed how important it is to have both locked up on this football team.
I would tell you I'm not going to get into any, just specific contract negotiations. I don't think that's probably fair to the player, especially. It's not fair to the club, but I will tell you that we want both those guys on the football team. We're working very hard to try to get that done. Deshaun Watson and Laramie Tunsil, we want those guys on our football team for a long time. So.
Yeah, fans love hearing that. Rockets have 26 games left to play, and they're 4th in the West right now, but only 2 games outside of the number 2 seed. Denver has that currently. The race is tight. Big games are coming up. Rockets will host the Memphis Grizzlies tonight at Toyota Center. High school girls playoff action last night. Rich Point, Cy-Fair. Cy-Fair leads when Aliyah Fontenot puts a 3 right there. Panthers cut it to 1. Cy-Fair kept on it, though. Paige Gerald with a 3-pointer. Cy-Fair with a 6-point lead, but the Panthers rally back, and they get the victory and advance to the regional tournament coming up this weekend. Also at Pearland last night, Shadow Creek facing Foster. First half, Danae Williams buries the 3 ball, and then Brooklyn Brown says, I'll take that. She knocks down the jumper. Sharks advance with a 55-49 victory. Congrats to TSU head coach Michael Robertson and his TSU Tigers. They went to Starkville, Mississippi last night, and they upset SEC powerhouse and number 6 nationally ranked Mississippi State 8-4. Congrats to the Tigers. They were 0-9, so they pick up their first victory of the season, and it was a big one. Reminder to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at KPRC2 Randy McIlvoy. Have a great day, and I'll see you tonight.
All right, 10 till 5 this morning. It's cold, but it's going to be getting colder.
Yeah, temperatures continuing to drop. Amy's like, thanks, that's not what I wanted to hear.
I know.
But you know what? Winter's lasting for about 36 hours. I mean, come on, guys.
Right.
We can do it. When you take into fact that half the country gets snow, and we're like 36 hours of temperatures below 60 degrees. Yeah, it's our kind of winter.
So dramatic.
So bundle up. Can you tell that I have little ones at home? They're like, no. So yes, you need to make sure that your kids are dressed appropriately today, that you are as well. You need to dress in layers, but we will have the return of spring in just a few days. Good. So there's a live look at our Kaplan Sinus Relief camera. You can tell that it's moving up and down a little bit. Definitely windy out there. We have a wind advisory that starts in just about an hour, and that is going to be with us for the remainder of the day. So right now our winds are coming in about 15 miles per hour here in town, but much stronger at the coast. We're at 53 degrees here in town, but we are in the mid-40s off to the northwest. That's where our temperatures are going. So yes, we're continuing to cool off, and our temperatures will be dropping between now and about 9 o'clock in the morning, and then we'll start a warm up. It's not going to be a big warm up today. There's a look at the wind advisory. It does not include San Jacinto County or Liberty County, but it's going to be windy across all southeast Texas. The wind advisory will be in effect all the way through 6 p.m. Meanwhile, our temperatures this afternoon only getting into the 50s, but at least we'll have beautiful sunshine. That's the one upside, but it will be cloudy, or pardon me, it will be chilly and windy for the entire day. Right now, our winds coming in from the northwest, 15 miles per hour, 20 at the coast. And then we have a few wind gusts between 20 and 30 miles per hour. This is just the beginning. We'll have a few wind gusts that could be reaching up to 35 miles per hour as we go into the afternoon. So here's a look at our Futurecast model. We'll keep it windy all day long. This is a look at lunchtime. Winds still coming at 20 miles per hour. By the time we get to the wind advisory finishing at 6 p.m., you can tell that the winds start to back off. Great news, but as those winds become calm overnight, that allows the temperatures to bottom out. With clear skies, calm winds, it's that perfect setup for our freeze. So this is going to be early tomorrow morning. Temperatures dropping to the freezing mark right along I-10. There will probably be a few spots south of I-10 that could get colder than that, maybe 29 degrees in Columbus. So the range about 29 degrees to about 32. So a light freeze is being called. So maybe protect sensitive plants. Pipes are going to be just fine, but make sure that you keep everybody warm tonight. Meanwhile, that ridge of high pressure that's clearing out the skies is going to be on the move this weekend. It's moving out to the east. That means that we bring back that south breeze. With our winds turning back on shore, we're going to warm things up. A really beautiful weekend. We'll have some cool mornings, but our afternoons very comfortable, and then we'll keep it warm as we begin next week. So 54 degrees for today. It's going to be windy. It is going to make it feel colder than that, and as temperatures really drop tomorrow morning, we're waking up to freezing temperatures. Still in the 30s for Friday morning, but look at that warm up, upper 60s for Friday afternoon, and then 70s are back for Saturday and Sunday. So weather looks pretty much perfect for the rodeo parade. Justin, over to you.
Oh, I can't wait. Looks like not only for that, but for the trail riders coming in the next couple days as well. Remember, it's about 2 days. About Friday morning, they get into Memorial Park. So you're going to see some of them out there on the road. So just give yourself, just kind of slow down, give them some room if they're out there. Live look right now as you get out towards the West Loop at Westheimer, both south and northbound lanes. No problem so far. That's always nice to see. And in fact, we're still fairly green across much of the map here. That's always good to see as well. You can see a couple of spots out towards 290 as you get out 242 there. Looks like we're getting a little bit of a slow headed out towards Tomball. Same thing. And then also I noticed that as you jump in a little tighter here in towards the Gulf Freeway, things are starting to check up just a bit just north of Woodridge Drive. That's as you work your way over towards, let's say, the Forest Park Cemetery and moving its way over towards Beckman Road. And there's 610 right there. So it always is going to start checking up in about the next half hour or so as folks starting to come in from the south side there. So just, watch it out there on the roads. Give yourself a little bit of extra time, as I mentioned as well. Not only that, but we also have the wind, as Britt has been saying. So make sure, especially if you're on the east side, Fred Hartman Bridge, you know how high that bridge goes. It's really going to start hitting the wind out there if you're on the road, so just be very careful. Otherwise, right now, drive times look pretty good, guys. We got anywhere from the Woodlands downtown, 24 minutes, and coming in from 45 down to the North Loop, 17.
All right, not bad. It is 4:54 this morning. Here's a look at what's trending today. Kelly Clarkson will be back to host the Billboard Music Awards for the third year in a row. It's been a pretty busy year for Clarkson. She now has her own daytime talk show. She's a coach on The Voice, and you can catch those Billboard Music Awards right here on Channel 2. It airs April 29th.
A North Carolina reporter accidentally gave viewers a funny weather report last week. Justin Hinton was on Facebook Live.
Oh, my goodness.
It's part of his station's weather coverage when he says he accidentally activated a filter generator on the app.
Oh, I love the wizard.
And the wizard's good, right? I had no idea what was happening until he stepped off camera. So you get the big beady eyes. You've got all the various filters. He says he's just happy he was able to give people the smile. Working out. What else we got?
And he's never had so many views. He's like, why did so many people watch that? That's amazing.
Best weather report ever. Nice LLB jacket, too. That's strong. Hey, it's about that time. The Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. Officially less than a week away from opening.
Yeah, we cannot wait until the rodeo officially begins on March 3rd. And neither can the more than 2,000 trail riders heading into Houston from all across our state. Coming up at 5, if you're wondering why Tanaya is not here on the desk, it's because we sent her out on the trail ride.
That's right.
With the Southwestern Trail Riders of Houston. They're traveling 100 miles into our city today, and Tanaya is going to be right there with them.
Literally her first rodeo. It's a tough decision to have to think about putting someone you love into a care facility.
Yeah, coming up at 5, I have a step-by-step guide to help you choose the best nursing home for your loved one.
Live from KPRC, this is Channel 2 News Today.
Well, it's windy, it's cold, it's uncomfortable. We are in a cold snap this morning, and Britta's going to help you handle that as you head outside.
One of the richest men in Houston has his identity stolen, and we've got an exclusive interview with the woman who says she didn't even know she was posing as Rockets and Landry's owner, Tillman Fertitta.
A new target on the Democratic debate stage. The Democrats going after Bernie Sanders, who's been leading in the polls.
Imagine spending the better part of 2020 with Bernie Sanders versus Donald Trump.
How Bernie punched back as everyone looks ahead to the South Carolina primary this weekend.
Good morning, guys. I'm live in Fresno this morning with the Southwest Trail Riders braving the elements out here. It's cold, it's windy, there's mud everywhere, but they are so excited. We're going to go wake them up in just a few minutes. Coming up.
Mud everywhere. Ah, yes, indeed. Tanaya, good morning. We'll see you in just a bit. It's 5 o'clock now on this Wednesday. I'm Owen Conflenti.
And I'm Amy Davis in for Tanaya, who is obviously out there. I heard her ask Britta this morning, do you think my hat's going to fly away out there? Maybe.
Hold on tight.
Right.
Yeah. I was going to say, if it's cold, it's windy, and there's mud, it must be trail ride.
Yeah, right?
Every year it's dry, right? Yeah, because I feel like many years you have the rain on top of that. So at least we don't have to deal with that. But it is cold, it is windy, and it's going to be like that for the whole day. So dress in layers. That is our best advice. So let's take you outside, show you what it looks like. You're going to see a lot of our camera shots moving. So as you tune in with Justin and I throughout the morning, just, you know, take it easy out there eating your Wheaties watching that. So we do have a wind advisory that starts in an hour. It lasts all the way through 6 p.m. We're expecting winds 20 to 25 miles per hour, but a few of our wind gusts could reach up to 35 miles per hour. Right now, not too bad, but it is windy definitely at the coast. Keep in mind the wind is going to be picking up. It is going to be getting worse. So if it's trash day in your neighborhood, you need to keep it in mind. And we have temperatures that are dropping. So right now we're at 50 degrees, but we've dropped 2 degrees in the last hour. We will continue to see our temperatures drop. So 40s happening in Katy and Tomball. That's going to be more common over the metro area as we go throughout the morning commute. Justin, as we go to the afternoon, not much of a warm up. We'll be lucky to get back to the low 50s after this drop that we're experiencing right now. And with the strong wind, you have to keep in mind the high pollen count. I'll take a look at that part of the forecast coming up.
Oh, the high pollen count, you just got to listen to me throughout the morning and the next couple days. I'll tell you how high the pollen count is. It's nasty out there. Anyway, we've got pretty quiet conditions across much of the area right now. There was one stall that we had, an accident up on the North Freeway up near Howard. That is cleared, and it looks like the little backup we had with some road debris, that is now cleared as well. So we'll keep a watch on things, but we've also got a little bit of slow traffic working its way. This is right outside of Janetta. That's going westbound as you get over across portions of the West Park there. And then as we bounce our way up, as I mentioned, that just got cleared over towards Howard Ave on the north side. So looking okay so far. Drive time's not too bad, guys. We've got 11 minutes in from Pearland, 23 if you're coming in from Sugar Land and Fort Bend County, and 21 from the great city of Katy. We'll have much more on coming up here in just a bit.
All right, breaking news near Austin. 2 Georgetown police officers wounded in a shootout with a burglary suspect. The department says the suspect opened fire when one officer went to a home to investigate a possible break-in late last night. We're told that officer was shot in both of his legs. Well, the department says the suspect continued to shoot when a second officer arrived for backup. She was shot in the foot, but that officer managed to fire back, killing the suspect. This morning, both officers are recovering.
Only on 2, a woman's facing charges after police say she stole Tillman Fertitta's identity. We spoke exclusively with her.
Yeah, she tells us she didn't even know she was posing as the Rockets and Landry's owner. Channel 2's Brittany Jeffers is live at the Toyota Center this morning. Brittany, how did she even get Fertitta's identity?
Yeah, good morning, guys. As we know, Tillman Fertitta is a very well-known name around here in Houston, but this woman says she never heard of him, didn't know that he was the owner of the Rockets. She says, however, she was able to purchase his information on the dark web, and then she used it to open up 2 credit cards.
Stephanie Hunter didn't want to show her face, but says she's sorry.
It was a dumb mistake. I mean, shouldn't have done, and it wasn't. I do apologize for it.
The 28-year-old mother told Channel 2 that for $10, she bought billionaire Tillman Fertitta's social security number on the dark web and then used it to open a Conn's account and a $15,000 line of credit at Capital One.
Did you steal Tillman Fertitta's identity?
I did. It was, spur of the moment.
According to court documents, identity theft prevention company LifeLock caught the theft, alerted Fertitta, and he called police before Hunter could buy anything.
Y'all got a warrant to be in here?
We're getting a search warrant right now.
Hunter's brother took this video of investigators searching the home. They confiscated 7 computers, a half-dozen credit cards, a driver's license, and Social Security card, all with different names. Now, Hunter faces a felony charge of fraudulent use of identification information, and we found out that her next court date is scheduled for next month. Live here near the Toyota Center, I'm Brittany Jeffords, KPRC, Channel 2 News.
All right, thank you, Brittany. New this morning, we are working to get more details after police in Pasadena arrest one person after a chase. The pursuit came to a wild end last night along the Gulf Freeway near FM 2351. The driver crashed through a fence and came to a stop in a grassy area. No word if anyone was hurt or why officers were chasing that suspect.
Well, it's 5:05 to a developing story that has rattled the nerves of a community in the Greenspoint area. A 10-year-old boy shot and wounded. Investigators say his 19-year-old aunt accidentally shot him. The shooting was reported yesterday evening at the Chisholm Trail Apartments, that is, on near Rankin Road, where Sheriff Ed Gonzalez says the aunt mishandled the gun while taking photos with the weapon. The boy's friends and neighbors were scared he wouldn't survive.
I feel sad that he almost died. I think it's pretty sad. We need more like people to watch out the kids and to be careful.
So again, investigators say the aunt was taking photos with the loaded weapon. Investigators say the 10-year-old had surgery and was last checked was in serious condition.
A man is in the hospital after crashing his motorcycle in Northeast Harris County. Investigators say the man was riding down East Mount Houston near Hirsch last night when he didn't see a truck stopped at the light ahead of him. We're told he hit the brakes but lost control, falling off of his motorcycle. Paramedics rushed him to Memorial Hermann downtown. Investigators say it appears the man was not wearing a helmet and they don't know if he will survive.
Oh, what a mess. The truck slams into the front of a Pier 1 store in Kemah. This was the one along Marina Bay Drive and Highway 146 last night. An 87-year-old man was behind the wheel. Apparently, they say he hit the gas instead of the brake when he was pulling into the parking spot. A big mess, but thankfully no one was hurt.
Well, now to Decision 2020. The Democratic candidates held their final debate before the South Carolina presidential primary on Saturday.
As the front runner, Senator Bernie Sanders took the brunt of the attacks last night. The candidates accused him for leaning too far to the left and accused him of proposing plans he can't pay for, like Medicare for all.
So let's do some math. Senator Sanders at one point said it was going to be $40 trillion, then it was 30, then it was 17. It's an incredible shrinking price tag.
What every study out there, conservative or progressive, says Medicare for all will save money.
This was also the last debate before 14 states, including Texas, vote on Super Tuesday.
Well, as we know, all trails lead to Houston. The Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo Trail Ride tradition has been going on for nearly 50 years now.
Yeah, they've got more than 2,000 riders out there doing it. The Southwestern Trail Riders are waking up in Fresno this morning, and Tanaya was there for the wake-up call, her first rodeo, and she's dressed for the occasion. I know it's cold, but good morning. How you doing out there?
I'm kind of dressed for the occasion. This it's a little like I do have cowboy boots on. Look at these brand new boots. These are elements all of these riders have been dealing with. We had that rain on Monday. Today it's so windy. I heard Amy mention my hat. I keep slamming it down so it doesn't blow away. But look at this group. Some of their cars are actually stuck in all this mud and rain. And again, this is from Monday, but today we're dealing with the elements once again. This is Liz Cook, the assistant trail boss, and I asked her what her favorite part of the rodeo was.
This week-long ride and then going in the parade. I mean, you can't do the week-long ride and not do the parade. I just want to tell people when they come, it's like, well, I'm going to leave on Thursday. I was like, no, you got to do Friday. You got to go into the parade. I mean, it doesn't take us but about 10, 15 minutes to go through it, but it's a high. I mean, it's like, it's worth it. You know, you didn't roll all week. You want to go downtown where you can
wave at everyone.
Yes.
Show off.
Yes.
And And they are so excited. So Liz, what's for breakfast today? We're about to start cooking.
Bacon, eggs, and coffee and toast.
And is that going to warm you guys up for the trail ride today?
Oh, most definitely. The coffee will. Yes.
The coffee definitely will. All right. Well, we're going to go back. You guys, we're going to go wake up the rest of the people for breakfast.
Oh.
We want you to do that on TV with the cowbell. Time to get up. Wakey, wakey.
Right, or do the old wooden spoon in a pan. You
Oh, yeah. Right. Yeah.
All right, tonight, looking good. We'll see you in a little bit. Hey, we've got a little ways to go until football season picks back up, but the Texans are changing things up a bit.
Yeah, ahead at 5, who'll be calling the plays instead of Bill O'Brien.
See, you're welcome, everybody.
And you saw tonight out there, it is windy, it is cold. This is a live look into Galveston. The wind is picking up. It's coming at 21 miles per hour, and temperatures right now are in the 50s. So bundle up. We'll talk about the start of a wind advisory and also give you the update on the freeze that we're expecting tonight. Good morning. We're tracking a wind advisory that starts in about 45 minutes. It's already windy out there. You will feel it as you drive in, especially over the flyover, so just hold on tight. That wind advisory is going to stay up through 6 p.m., and we could have a few wind gusts up to 35 miles per hour. Meanwhile, this is a live look from our tower camera. You can see it moving up and down in the strong wind. Temperatures are in the 50s right now, but they're continuing to drop. So between now and 9 o'clock in the morning, all of us in the metro area will be dropping to the 40s. So dress in layers this afternoon. Not much of a warm up. Oh, and we're only going up to the 50s, and we have to still talk about the pollen count. Think about the wind and the pollen, bad combination. We'll take a look at what you need to avoid today coming up.
Yeah, lots of sneezing out there. Britta, thanks. Rockets are hoping to keep the good times rolling with a victory tonight against the Grizzlies. Head coach D'Antoni says Russell Westbrook will play after recovering from a sore thumb. He also thinks Eric Gordon will play, even though he has a sore knee and is listed in the injury report as questionable. The game time is 7 tonight at Toyota Center.
Yeah, and the Texans head coach Bill O'Brien will have one less role next football season. He announced he's giving up his play calling duties and said he's now handing that task to offensive coordinator Tim Kelly. Well, this decision comes almost a month after O'Brien was officially named general manager of the Texans. The Texans will gather for off-season conditioning on April 20th. Well, he's been called a hero all week. The Zamboni driver who saved the game when he stepped on the ice as a backup goalie.
Yeah, coming up, how David Ayers was honored for that role.
7 Democratic presidential candidates square off in Charleston. I'm Susan McGinnis in Washington. Coming up, all the highlights of last night's debate.
It is 5:16 this morning. You're looking at wind speeds right now. I see a 28, a 29, a 30 out in Wharton. Britta Merwin's going to have more on our full forecast coming up in just a few moments.
That's brisk, baby.
Yeah.
Attacks in all directions on the South Carolina debate stage last night. The Democrats trying to tear down Senator Bernie Sanders, who's been leading in the polls. Here's NBC's Susan McGinnis this morning with more from Washington.
Oh, and explosive and chaotic are just two of the words being used to describe last night's 10th Democratic debate in Charleston. The attacks began early, mostly aimed at Bloomberg and Bernie.
Bernie's team trashed me.
Democratic candidates wasted no time attacking frontrunner Bernie Sanders at last night's Democratic debate in Charleston.
Imagine spending the better part of 2020 with Bernie Sanders versus Donald Trump.
Can anybody in this room imagine moderate Republicans going over and voting for him?
I don't believe that a government takeover of large parts of the economy makes any sense for working people.
Their objective, stop Sanders' rapid advance toward the Democratic presidential nomination.
The economy is doing really great for people like Mr. Bloomberg and other billionaires.
Also on the receiving end of attacks, former New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg.
At least I didn't have a boss who said to me, kill it. The way that Mayor Bloomberg
never
alleged
said that.
to have said to one of his pregnant employees.
I was the mayor of the largest, most populous city in the United States for 12 years, and people will tell you it's a lot better city today.
Sanders landing some punches of his own.
Joe has voted for terrible trade agreements. No. Joe voted voted for the war in Iraq.
The former vice president among those seeking the African-American vote.
My entire career has been wrapped up in dealing with civil rights and civil liberties.
The group was united on one issue, President Trump's action on the coronavirus.
He tried to cut back on the CDC. He tried to cut back on the international organization that would coordinate with the rest of the world. He hasn't yet really addressed the nation on this topic.
7 Democrats looking to be the one to battle the president in November.
After Super Tuesday next week, look for the number of Democratic candidates to dwindle. In Washington, Susan McGinnis, KPRC Channel 2 News.
The mother of 2 missing children in Idaho is due in court today. Officers arrested Lori Vallow last week in Hawaii, so she'll face a judge there. The hearing will consider whether Vallow, her $5 million bail should be reduced. She's facing charges of desertion and non-support of children. Her kids, Joshua Vallow and Tylee Ryan, have been missing since September. A grandfather accused of dropping his granddaughter to her death from a cruise ship will now plead guilty in the case. Salvatore Anello initially pleaded not guilty to a negligent homicide charge from Puerto Rican authorities in October. In July, 18-month-old Chloe Wiegand fell to her death from an open window on a Royal Caribbean cruise ship in San Juan. Well, a family attorney says Anello filed paperwork to change his plea in a deal to avoid jail time.
Well, today marks 27 years since the 1993 World Trade Center attack in New York City. 6 people were killed, thousands were hurt when Muslim extremists set off a truck bomb in the building's underground garage. As you know, they came back again in 2001. The National 9/11 Memorial and Museum will hold a ceremony to honor the 1993 victims this afternoon.
The heiress to the Hot Pocket sandwich fortune will report to prison on April 7th. Michelle Genovs will spend 5 months behind bars for her role in the college admissions scandal. Genovs is accused of paying $100,000 to the alleged mastermind Rick Singer to ensure her daughters scored well on the ACTs. She also agreed to pay $200,000 to get one of her daughters into USC as a volleyball recruit.
Less than 150 days away from the Summer Olympics in Tokyo, and that city could be feeling the heat. Japan's meteorological agency says summer temperatures across Japan could be hotter than average. They say global warming and other factors are at play. Tokyo's scorching heat has been a major concern. It prompted Olympic organizers to move the marathon and race walk events to a city north of Tokyo.
Huh, that'll be interesting when all that's going on.
Well, and then you got coronavirus, too. It's going to be a weird Olympics this year.
Exactly. Hey, it's 5:21 right now. We want to check in with Britta.
Hey, and what a difference. I mean, yesterday we were in the 70s. This morning we are waking up to the 50s, and our temperatures are continuing to tumble across town. So there's a live look from our tower camera. Notice that it is moving in the wind. The wind is really picked up, and that's going to add insult to injury. It's very brisk this morning. Dress in layers. We have temperatures at 44 degrees in Brenham, 47 degrees in Conroe. The 40s are moving into Harris County. Our drop in temperatures not really complete just yet, so we're going to continue to get colder between now and about 9 o'clock this morning. Meanwhile, wind advisory starts in about 40 minutes. It lasts through 6 p.m. and a few of our wind gusts could reach up to 35 miles per hour. So it is going to be a very windy day. Temperatures will rebound slightly this afternoon after the drop that we're going through right now, but we will only warm up to the low 50s. Thankfully, we have beautiful sunshine in the forecast, but it's going to be cold and windy. Right now, our winds 15 miles per hour here in town, 22 at the coast, but our wind gusts ranging between 25 and 30 miles per hour. They're going to continue to pick up as we go throughout the day. So here's a look at our wind futurecast model. Very windy through the afternoon. As we get closer to the end of the wind advisory at 6 p.m., we do notice that the winds start to drop below 10 miles per hour. As the winds become calm, it allows our temperatures to really drop. So we're still anticipating that freeze for tonight. It's a good idea to protect sensitive plants. Generally speaking, most of those freezing temperatures reaching down to I-10, but there will be spots in Fort Bend County and Brazoria County that do reach below 32 degrees. Ridge of high pressure that's clearing out the skies, providing the beautiful sunshine. I know it's cold, but at least we have sunny skies. That ridge of high pressure is on the move, and it's moving out to the east for this weekend. That is key because it will bring back a south breeze. With the south wind, we pull in more humidity, more heat from the Gulf, and we start to get back to the 70s. So this is a cold snap. It's not going to last forever. We're going to warm things up, and you'll start feeling that difference on Friday afternoon.
All right, thank you very much, B. Yeah, it certainly is going to be nice to actually see some decent weather for rodeo. Obviously, a little cool this morning. We get out to tonight here in just a couple of minutes, but notice time saver traffic looking okay so far. We had one stall, a little heavy truck on the eastbound side of the Katy Freeway near Bingle. It's not slowing anything down, so you notice that we're still on the green, and that's pretty much what we've seen. I'm going to jump down into Fort Bend County and Sugar Land. We saw a couple of slows near New Territory. Things have started to kind of unwind there a little bit as you see the intersection between the Grand Parkway and over towards 90, and then just a little more check up there as you're getting on and off Highway 6. That's about it. North side, we're seeing the same thing as we're starting to pick up a little more traffic as you get off towards 290, you know, where it all kind of bunches up and through there. That's about it. Otherwise, drive time's not too bad. From NASA 1 into downtown, 19 minutes. From 518 to downtown, right at about 15 minutes as well. We're looking at about 20 coming in from Clear Lake. So far, and so good.
All right. Stapleton, thank you. 524. Trail riders are on their way to Houston, and Tanaya is with one trail riding group this morning. Whoa, careful out there with that carrot. We're going to check in with her. She's out with the Southwestern Trail Riders straight ahead on Channel 2 News today.
And I'm Health reporter Haley Hernandez. A local hospital tells me they are ready to treat for coronavirus as early as today if they need to. What doctors say you need to do if you have reason to believe you have it, coming up.
We have an update now on one of the top feel-good stories of the week so far. A Zamboni driver who was called to be an emergency backup goalie for the Carolina Hurricanes and help them win is being honored. David Ayers, a Canadian citizen, was named an honorary North Carolinian yesterday by the governor. He also got to fire up the crowd at last night's Hurricanes game by cranking up the siren. During a timeout in the second period, the crowd gave Ayers a standing ovation with his wife Sarah by his side. Well, today is Ash Wednesday, which means the beginning of Lent. Some believers will mark the occasion with an ash cross on their forehead or by choosing to fast or give something up that they enjoy for Lent. This lasts until Easter Sunday on April 12th. The Co-Cathedral of the Sacred Heart in downtown Houston is holding Ash Wednesday services today. They're scheduled for 7 a.m., 12:10, and 5:30 this evening. A service in Vietnamese will be at 6:45, and a service in Spanish will be at 8 o'clock tonight. Well, making the decision to put your loved one in a nursing home is very difficult, especially when there are about 1,200 of them in Texas. Coming up, I'll show you what to look for when you're trying to pick the best one.
It's pretty quiet out there on the road so far. It is breezy, so watch out for that. Right now, we've got a heavy truck stalling over towards Katy Freeway that's inbound to Bingle, but not slowing anything down so far. I'll have your drive times coming up here in just a bit.
And we are tracking a wind advisory in the weather department and cold temperatures. It's time to bundle up. I'll let you know when freezing temperatures will be moving in.
Arts. Live from KPRC, this is Channel 2 News Today.
Breaking this morning in the coronavirus crisis, fears of a pandemic growing as the number of cases climb. A U.S. soldier has it where he is and how one Houston hospital is preparing to handle the outbreak.
Winter's back in full force this morning. Wind strong enough to knock around some trash cans. How long that'll keep up, and when we might see some freezing temperatures.
And we are feeling those really cold temperatures this morning, guys. We are live this morning in Fresno with the trail riders making their way into Houston. These are some of the horses they're riding in. We're about to go cook breakfast with the team coming up in just a minute.
All right, we wouldn't call it hazing, but since it's our first rodeo,
we do it every year.
Yeah. I mean, I always have to laugh at people. You imagine visitors coming into Houston to visit during the trail rides and being like, "What is going on?"
What
around?
year?
Right, exactly.
I thought it was warm down here.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Sure. Well, good morning. Welcome. It is a Wednesday hump day. And we're
there
we go. Moving and grooving. Stapleton's got traffic covered for us, thankfully. What's up?
Right. Pretty quiet out there. We just got one stall so far, eastbound lane coming in towards Bingle. That's it, though. It's way over on the side, so it's not causing any problems other's. Biggest issue is just going to be 10 and 2 if you're out on the bridges today, because it is really breezy.
Stay on your horse.
Yeah. Good advice. It's going to be windy all day long. So we have a wind advisory. It starts in a half hour, but honestly, you know, it's already windy. You're going to feel it on the side of your car. Winds are coming in from the northwest, so this is going to be a larger deal if you're a commuter that comes in on the Southwest Freeway, the East Tex Freeway, any highway that is making that line from the northeast down to the southwest. You're going to feel it on the side of your car. A few of our wind gusts could reach up to 35 miles per hour. Right now, this is a sustained wind, about 10 miles per hour in town, 22 at the coast. So it's already breezy. It's only going to be picking up, and temperatures are continuing to drop. I mean, Justin, we've dropped about 2 degrees in the last hour. We'll bottom out in the 40s, and then we'll try and warm things up, but only the low 50s for today. We'll take a look at when we could see freezing temperatures coming up. Over to you.
Yeah, this is for weather nerds like you and me. This is one of those Weather 101 moments where you're like, hey, the fronts come through, the cold air lags behind that, and that's why we're a little warmer starting the show. We're going to cool as we get into the morning and then slowly make that bump, as Britta mentioned. No bumps out there so far on the traffic. Time saver traffic looking good so far, although seeing a couple of slows, as I mentioned just a bit ago. Some check up there near New Territory. Everybody trying to get out and get on the road so far towards 90 and the Grand Parkway. Let's head on down to the island, looking good so far. A little bit of slow out towards Texas City, or folks are getting going this morning. Causeway looks good, no problems there, and I'm not seeing any as you get out across either the seawall or down towards Broadway. There's that one truck that we said over, that's the eastbound lane coming inbound on the Katy Freeway, but it's way over there on the side. Plenty of lanes getting through, no problem so far. Drive times look A-OK. 25 coming in from the Woodlands, 24 from Sugar Land, and just a paltry 11 minutes coming in from 288 in Pearland. Guys?
Okay, thank you, Stapleton. Breaking news from California this morning. There's a large refinery fire that shut down a major freeway for a little bit this morning, the 405 freeway. Maybe you've heard of it. So this is happening at the Marathon Petroleum Refinery. It happened just before midnight. Folks heard multiple explosions in nearby neighborhoods, and then the fire, and a big fire with lots of flames. And as I said, shut down the 405 temporarily. They don't know why the fire started, what caused it at this point, but luckily no reports so far of any injuries.
Oh, so the latest now in the coronavirus. Health officials telling Americans it's just a matter of time before it begins spreading across our country.
Yeah, the CDC stressing the current risk is low, but they're warning that major disruptions to our daily lives could be in our future. And with that in mind, we check in with Sophia Ojeda live from the Med Center this morning, where folks are scrambling to protect themselves. Good morning.
Good morning. They are scrambling to get a hold of those N95 respirator masks, and they are in such high demand right now. We checked at medical supply stores across town to see if they have them. Many are sold out or back ordered for several weeks. This is Karen. She stopped by Spring Branch Medical Supply to pick up an N95 respirator mask. She tells Channel 2 she's worried about her elderly mother. They've got an international trip planned, and she wants to protect her family from the coronavirus.
It was quite the search to find anything.
She searched several stores and even searched online and said many are sold out. The manager here says he's been getting requests from all around the world for the mask. The demand is up and supply is down because of who's in line to get them first.
And what that means is that any available inventories that weren't already committed to purchase orders were going to be delegated for priority to major healthcare institutions or major government agencies who might have a need for it.
This comes as the CDC sent out a warning. Americans should prepare for the coronavirus crisis, to be prepared for the spread of the virus here.
The most beneficial crowd for those who are wearing masks are those who are already infected and want to minimize the risk of them and possibly infecting others.
And officials say the demand is only expected to increase. We checked with the big name stores like Lowe's and Home Depot, and they are actually restricting the number of masks that one person can buy. Another medical store is selling a box of 20 for about $190. Now, coming up in the next hour, we're going to hear from a doctor who gives you advice on the coronavirus, exactly what you need to know and what you need to do to stay safe. Reporting live in the medical center, Sophia Ojeda, KPRC, Channel 2 News.
All right, thank you, Sophia. Well, health reporter Haley Hernandez joins us now because you've been talking to hospitals, and there's at least one hospital preparing for this.
Well, yeah, a doctor from Memorial Hermann in Sugar Land actually says they are ready to treat coronavirus patients today if needed. Actually, they've already been screening some patients who have the travel history and are presenting symptoms. So far, there have been no confirmed cases, and there are none in Houston. Now, Memorial Hermann does insist they are prepared, though, with isolation techniques and supplies to treat patients. But if you suspect that you have it, they'd like you to do something before arriving to the hospital.
I think it's very important that they call ahead if possible. Ideally, if they could notify the clinic or the emergency room, here at Memorial Hermann, we would be prepared to put them into isolation right off the bat, and that'll help protect our healthcare providers. So that's very important.
Yeah, and that could also help to eliminate the spread of the virus across our entire area. They say they'd also like to put a mask on patients right away to protect their own healthcare providers. Now, fears of a pandemic continue to grow around the world. The death toll now more than 2,700 worldwide, with more than 80,000 cases. South Korea dealing with the most cases outside of China, including a U.S. soldier stationed there. The World Health Organization and U.S. experts say it's still too early to declare the virus a pandemic, but now is the time to prepare. And new this morning, the International Olympic Committee and local organizers say things are going as planned for the Olympics despite virus concerns. That's according to a Japanese government spokesman. An IOC veteran member says organizers face a 3-month window to decide the fate of the games. They are set to open on July 24th. And then the problem we're dealing with now is not only worrying about staying healthy, but the health of our economy. We'll have more on that coming up at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, we noticed this as we talked with Maribel yesterday. As soon as you found out the virus had spread to a place like Italy with heavy tourism, and you saw the markets just crash.
I mean, we talked about mortgage rates here. It's kind of crazy the effect that it can have.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks a lot, Haley.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Now developing, Harvey Weinstein is in his second full day of lockup after his rape conviction on Monday. He's in a prison facility at New York's Bellevue Hospital being treated for high blood pressure and heart palpitations. Once Weinstein's symptoms are under control, he gets shipped to Rikers Island. That's the city's largest and most notorious jail. He'll remain there until he is sentenced March 11th. Now to Decision 2020 in the race for the White House. There was a new target on the Democratic debate stage last night. Frontrunner Bernie Sanders, the subject of attacks.
Yeah, the others claimed his nomination would spell doom for Democrats this fall, but Bernie fought back. Former Vice President Joe Biden showing that he's putting everything in on South Carolina, putting it all out there. A win this Saturday could make him the main option for moderates going forward.
150 million people have been killed since 2007 when Bernie voted to exempt the gun manufacturers from liability.
I have cast thousands of votes, including bad votes. That was a bad vote. I have today a D- voting record from the NRA.
Sanders not the only one defending himself. Senator Elizabeth Warren went after Mike Bloomberg again, this time claiming he told one of his employees to basically get an abortion.
Senator Warren, that is a very serious charge that you leveled at the mayor.
Yes.
You told a woman to get an abortion. What evidence do you have of that?
Her own words.
And Mayor Bloomberg, could you respond to this?
I never said it. Period. End of story.
South Carolina's primary is this Saturday. The next debate is scheduled for mid-March out in Arizona.
Well, the Texas primary is less than a week out. More than a third of all delegates from the Democratic National Convention will be up for grabs on Super Tuesday. You can find more information on early voting. You can still go do that right now. And on Election Day, you'll find all that on click2houston.com.
Well, is she on the horse? Do we know? She's apparently on a horse on the Old Town Road.
And she is going to ride till she can't no more.
Nice.
Yeah, Tanaya is out on her first trail ride this morning ahead of the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. She is with the Southwestern Trail Riders. Tanaya, I know it's a little chilly, but other than that, how's it going out there?
It's a little chilly and a little windy. My hat, I've lost it twice so far in all of this wind, but everyone is up now. Good amount of them are up having a good time, but I was always told you can't show up to a party without bringing snacks. So I brought them pancake mix, Cheez-Its, because that's usually what I eat in the morning at breakfast, and I brought them sparkling grape juice. You know, they have their own orange juice, but they are up early. Eleanor's up early making their breakfast for them. So tell us what you're making today.
I'm making bacon, eggs, grits, pancakes, toast. That's it.
You've got it all.
That's all they're going to get. This morning it's cold out here.
It is cold out there. And you guys have different breakfasts on different days usually. It's not always this.
No, it's not. Like yesterday, I think we had taco with pan sausage and grits. I mean, pan sausage and bacon with cheese on it. Oh, you ought to come through lunchtime and dinner time. It's on.
It is on. You are feeding them well. And this is actually heating us up because it's so cold. It actually feels really good.
By the heat.
We're all huddled by the heat. So, yes, so lots of bacon and eggs. I brought you pancakes in case this isn't enough bacon.
You know how to cook?
No. That's why I eat Cheez-Its. I do not cook at all.
You don't cook?
No.
I'm going to be you next.
All right, guys. Well, we're going to enjoy this breakfast and see what else we can find out here live in Fresno. See, they're calling me out for not cooking.
I know. That's hilarious. She's like, you get what you get and you don't throw a fit.
That's right.
That's it. That's what you're going to have for breakfast. But it actually looks pretty good.
Good chance to learn then tonight. There you go, from one of the pros out on the trail ride. We love it.
All right, Britta says, tonight says it's cold out there. You're laughing that you think they're dressed like they're in Fargo.
Right. It is cold, but I mean, this is Houston cold, let's be honest. But it is cold to us, so you need to make sure that you bundle up. And tonight we're expecting freezing temperatures. So I want to take you hour by hour with our Futurecast model. Pink is freezing temperatures. You're following that white line. This is starting at 1 a.m. tomorrow morning. It's going to move all the way into the metro area. So look at some of these temperatures our computer models are forecasting. Upper 20s in Sugar Land, 29 degrees in Tomball. This is a light freeze, so we're not worried about pipes, but definitely you want to protect people, pets, and plants. It's going to bottom out around 8 o'clock in the morning, so make sure that you are prepared. We'll take a look at a weekend warm-up. Perfect timing, right, to have that warm-up on a weekend. Over to you guys.
Yeah, all right. Thanks a lot, Britt. I'll take the warm-up. Well, she is a famous actress known for her role in Lizzie McGuire, but Hilary Duff doesn't play around when it comes to her own kids.
Ahead this morning, the moment she confronted a man who was taking photos at her son's soccer game.
And next, a monster grand slam. We're going to hear from the guy who hit it as minor leaguers try to earn their spot with the Astros. The time now is 5:43.
News at 10.
Time now is 5:45. Former Astros pitcher Garrett Cole continuing to defend the team, saying they played fair and square in 2018 and 2019.
Those comments and the sign-stealing fallout as spring training rolls on. The Stros face the Cards and the Mets today. Most starters are still out of the lineup, giving the minor leaguers a chance to put in some work. Big movement yesterday for Chas McCormick, who hit a grand slam to put the Astros up over the Marlins 4-3.
Felt really good. You know, I was also down 0-2. You know, just keep competing. You know, playing like I can't change anything now. Just keep moving forward. You know, no step backwards. And feels good to have my last name on the back. Feels like someone actually knows me.
And it was a monster indeed. We did lose the game though, 7-4. There are about 1,200 nursing homes in Texas, and Texas is one of the top 10 states with the worst ones.
Yeah, after showing you some of the worst violations last night, now I'm going to show you how you can find the best nursing home for your loved one. That's coming up.
Another quick check of the inbound drive times for you commuters out there. You can find the real-time updates, by the way, at our new What's Driving Houston website at click2houston.com. It's 546.
Day.com today.
Yeah, we are. It's 5:48, and we're back with Channel 2 News Today. Look at the wind speeds out there. We've got in the 20s, 30 miles an hour at the coast. Britta will be along shortly and tell you more about it. So parents around the world are supporting actress Hilary Duff after she confronted a man who was taking photos of children as her son played in a soccer game.
Yeah, so Duff filmed the argument and posted it on her Instagram. She asked him if he knew anyone on the team. The man said no. He claimed he was just practicing photography. Duff told him he was making her and the other parents uncomfortable after he'd been there for more than half an hour.
But it's legal.
I'm asking you, human to human, as a mother.
Paranoia is unwarranted. That's what I'm telling you.
No, it's just an uncomfortability factor that these are 7-year-old children and you don't have a child here.
What's that got to do with anything?
Well, there are children and we would like to protect them. So if you could take pictures of
So 2 people commented on the thread saying they knew the photographer. Duff says she called the police after that, but since it was at a public park, they couldn't do much. There was a whole local incident just like that on Facebook this week here in Houston.
Yeah, and I definitely can see how the parents might be a little uncomfortable with that, but, you know.
It is a public place.
It is what it is, right? 5:49 here at Channel 2 News Today. So Britta is, as we promised, along a 30-mile-an-hour wind in some places, huh?
Right? I mean, wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour. That that's definitely very brisk. And then you factor in the fact that our temperatures are still dropping behind the cold front that rolled through yesterday, and you need to grab a few layers this morning. Here's a live look at our tower camera moving up and down in that strong wind. Temperatures right now are dropping to the 40s. All of that is moving into the metro area. We're still at 50 degrees here in Houston, but we will get colder over the next several hours. Wind advisory begins in 10 minutes, pretty much already in effect, and it's going to stay in effect all the way through 6 p.m. this evening. A few of our wind gusts could be as strong as 35 miles per hour. So again, we're not talking about damage, but moving around some porch furniture, knocking over some trash cans, it's possible. As we go into the afternoon, thankfully we have sunshine in the forecast, but we will only rebound to the low 50s. It's going to be cold and windy for the whole day. Right now our winds coming in at 15 miles per hour, 22 at the coast. That's a sustained wind, and a few of our wind gusts, 30 in Galveston, 30 in Katy, 29 in Sugar Land. It is definitely very brisk. On our Futurecast model for our winds, it's going to continue to be pretty high as we go throughout the day, but look at what happens after 6 p.m. They start to relax, and as the winds start to relax, our temperatures will bottom out. We are expecting a freeze tonight. It's a light freeze, temperatures ranging between 29 and 32 degrees, but it reaches all the way down in central portions of Brazoria County, so make sure that you're protecting people, pets, and plants. That ridge of high pressure providing the beautiful sunshine today, it's going to stick around through the weekend, but most importantly, it's going to move off to our east. So that's going to bring back that south breeze. We do have a nice warm up in store, so this cold blast, it's not going to last forever. By the time we get to Friday afternoon, we're in the upper 60s, and Justin, 70s are back for this weekend.
Look, I think it's going to be a fantastic weekend. It'll be cool over at Cook-Off, so if you're headed on down there, and obviously just be ready for some crazy traffic as well. So far, we're good this morning, but you know, not only with the trail riders coming in on Friday to Memorial Park, that's going to create some stops and closures, and we're going to see the same thing down towards Energy, so just take it easy. We do have a stall somewhere here close towards 288 in the airport. I can't pick up on it on the camera, but it has been verified from the TransStar system map. So if you're out there, and you can see just a little bit of traffic starting to pick up there right north of Belfort towards 288, and then of course as it crosses over with the South Loop there. So just keep in mind if you're out that way, or if that's part of your commute, you're going to run into a little bit of that. Elsewhere, we're pretty much clean and green across much of the area, which is certainly nice to see. We're getting a little bit of slows as you work your way inbound there from 610 east side, just outside of Harrisburg as you work you over towards 90. And I haven't seen a whole lot of trouble elsewhere. We've got Woodlands down to town. We've got 27 minutes, and then northbound heading in towards the North Loop there as you're up towards the Hardy. It's going to take you about 17 minutes, guys.
All right, thanks a lot, Justin. Making the decision to place a loved one in a nursing home can be difficult, and that decision is usually followed by concerns over finding the best one. Well, last night at 10, we showed you which nursing homes in Houston have the worst violations. Now we're showing you step by step how to choose the right nursing home.
At a first level, right, you've got to know how you're going to pay for it. I know that sounds crass, but it's a really important point.
Charles Brown is a medical malpractice attorney. He says cost will definitely narrow your field of choices. Your next step is online. Go to Medicare.gov and look for Nursing Home Compare.
They have the data on staffing. They have the data on incidents. They can tell you the number of residents that get a bed sore.
The site gives a 1 to 5-star rating in areas like staffing and quality of care. Recent inspections, including violations, are posted here. Oh, and see that red hand? That means a home has been cited for abuse. Once you've completed this research, then you can start looking for online reviews.
If you see 2 or 3 reviews that all have the same problem, maybe you don't say, I'm never going here, but you at least know to say to the director of nursing, hey, I saw you've had this problem in the past. How did you resolve it?
Next is the site visit. Brown says make sure you meet with the director of nursing.
The person who's going to be in charge of the clinical aspects of the care for your loved one.
Also talk with the nurse's aides, the ones who'll have the most hands-on time with your loved one.
You should be able to feel their compassion and concern for elderly people.
Make sure to tour the specific area where your loved one would be living. Smells are important. A persistent smell of urine is a problem. Here's another tip from AARP's Amanda Fredrickson.
Definitely go off time.
Fredrickson says don't just visit during regular business hours. Your loved one will be here 24/7, and you want to see how a facility runs during all hours. She says take a look at other residents.
Are their fingernails clean? Is their hair groomed?
And staff turnover is another concern.
If you have the same aide coming in every morning to check on mom, they're going to know when mom doesn't seem quite right.
Well, we know that's a lot of information, and there's a lot more to consider. We've created a consumer guide on how to go about choosing a nursing home. We've posted it on click2houston.com.
Yeah, it's obviously a tough decision, an important one. You don't want to just go into it without doing your homework.
Right.
Great stuff, Amy. Hey, we've been talking about our weather this morning a lot because it's chilly, 40s and 50s in the temperature department, but the wind is blowing pretty good. Look at that, 33 at Galveston, 33 miles an hour. Britta will be up shortly with an update.
And now here's Christine Noel with the story she's working on for tonight at 10.
A woman claims she was sexually assaulted by the rideshare driver she hired to get her home safely.
Little does she know that Uber has assigned her a driver with a criminal history in her most vulnerable state. And that's the really scary thing.
What went wrong?
Basically, they are making safety a luxury, and safety should not be a luxury.
And what you need to do to stay safe.
You should do everything you can to prepare to protect yourself before you even enter the vehicle.
Tonight at 10 p.m. on KPRC Channel 2.
Okay, all right.
Here, give me that, Amy. I'll show you.
All right, trending just
We were
before
just on
6.
Facebook Live, folks.
We
If you
hope you'll
missed
join
it,
us
you
there,
missed the
too.
fun.
Hey, it's a long debate. Are those animated looping images called GIF or GIF?
It's GIF, by the way.
I say GIF.
Officially GIF.
But the company Jif Peanut Butter is now weighing in. Steve Wilhite, the creator of the GIF, has said it should be a soft G. And back in 2013, the company agreed. We have the tweet to prove it. Because now Jif argues the word should be pronounced with a hard G, not a soft one. And it's releasing new limited edition Jif peanut butter jars with the soft G pronunciation. I'm so confused on one side, and then it's got GIF, the hard G pronunciation, on the other. Jif GIF.
Live from KPRC, this is Channel 2 News Today.
This morning, batten down the hatches. Did I sell it a little bit? It is chilly, and it is windy, too. So if you got some loose stuff in the yard, it may be in your neighbor's yard. But anyway, we'll talk about how long the winter weather will be sticking around.
Yeah, and he is one of Houston's most recognizable faces, but apparently not to one woman who's now accused of stealing Tillman Fertitta's identity. What she told us in an exclusive interview.
A big break for millions of Americans battling asthma every single day, why it could become more affordable to get your inhaler.
Good morning, guys. We are live now with the Southwest Trail Riders of Houston making their way to Memorial Park. We are in Fresno this morning. It is cold, it is muddy, but we are having a great time out here. We're going to speak with their trail boss coming up in a minute to hear a little bit about their journey through all these elements.
And we got to look at breakfast just a few moments ago.
I know.
Sanaya, good morning.
Not only did she bring the Cheez-Its, she brought the extra toasty Cheez-Its. Like, that's the fancy
If you didn't
silverware you
see
put
it,
out
she
for the
brought
company.
snacks for the trail riders. Of course, what a great guest,
Well, yeah,
right?
in case you don't like hot bacon and eggs, you can go with the Cheez-Its. It's Wednesday the 26th at 6 o'clock. It is chilly out there as well. Britta, the wind's been blowing pretty bad.
Ooh, yeah, so we're going to feel that on the morning drive. I mean, the wind, it's picking up. It's coming in from the northwest. So if you are a commuter that comes in on the East Tex Freeway, the Southwest Freeway, it's going to be right on the side of your car. And watch over those flyovers. Let's take you outside, show you our cameras. They're going to be moving around today. Right now we have temperatures at 50 degrees, but we have dropped several degrees in just the past hour. That cold air is just now arriving, so we'll continue to get down to the 40s over the next few hours. Wind advisory is just now in effect. It will stay in effect through 6 p.m. this evening with a few wind gusts up to 35 miles per hour. Right now, a sustained wind at 20 at the coast, 10 miles per hour here in town, so just dress in layers. This is the official update. We're down to 48 degrees at Bush Airport. Justin will continue to cool down this morning. We'll try and rebound this afternoon, but it's going to be cool out there, maybe getting back to the low 50s. Now, with all the wind, you got to think we have an issue with pollen. We'll take a look at that coming up. Over to you.
Yeah, pollen, and also certainly, as we mentioned, if you're on some of the higher bridges, the East Hartman Bridge, the Fred Hartman Bridge, I should say, on the east side, watch out for that one. We had a stall up north of Airport Road on 288. This is going inbound between there and Reed Road. It's not big, but it is out there, so just keep a watch on that. Elsewhere, there we're looking A-okay. We haven't seen a whole lot of trouble, and in fact, we're going to continue to keep your drive times relatively all right across the region as well. 13 minutes in from Pearland. Good morning, Sugar Land. If you're at Fort Bend County, about 24, 23 in from Katy, about 30 from the Woodlands right now, and 13 from LaPorte and Baytown. Looking pretty good from all my East Siders. We're less than 20 minutes heading into downtown, guys.
All right, thank you, Justin. We are following breaking news from Georgetown. That's just north of Austin. 2 police officers were shot while investigating a report of a possible break-in at a home. The department says the suspect shot one officer in each of his legs and in the high thigh area. A second officer managed to fire back and kill that suspect. We're told she was shot in the foot. Both officers were taken to the hospital where they are in stable condition.
All right, only on 2 this morning. He's one of the most recognizable faces in Houston and one of the richest, too.
Yeah, we're talking about Rockets owner Tillman Fertitta. He was recently targeted in an identity theft scheme, but the woman involved says she had no idea who he was. Channel 2's Brittany Jeffers is live this morning at the Toyota Center. Brittany, what did this woman have to say when we caught up with her?
Yeah, guys, a woman says that she bought Tillman Fertitta's information on the dark web, but as you mentioned, she said she didn't know who he was. She then told Channel 2 that it was a dumb mistake, and she apologized. He's the owner of Landry's, Golden Nugget Casinos, and the owner of the Rockets. But Stephanie Hunter says she'd never heard of Tillman Fertitta.
I didn't know who he was at all. Someone pointed it, said his name, and I still didn't know who he was.
Still, the 28-year-old mother told Channel 2 that for $10, she bought the billionaire's social security number on the dark web and used it to open a Conn's account and a $15,000 line of credit at Capital One.
Did you steal Tillman Fertitta's identity?
I did. It was, spur of the moment. It wasn't. I do apologize for it. It wasn't something that, I do on a regular basis or anything like that.
According to court documents, identity theft prevention company LifeLock caught the theft and alerted Fertitta, who called police before Hunter could buy anything.
Y'all got a warrant to be in here?
We're getting a search warrant right now.
Hunter's brother took this video of investigators searching the home where they confiscated computers, a half-dozen credit cards, a driver's license, and social security card, all with different names. Now, we just checked, and Hunter's next court date is scheduled for next month. Live here near the Toyota Center, I'm Brittany Jeffers, KPRC, Channel 2 News.
Brittany, thank you, and welcome back. 6:04. New this morning. At least one person's in custody after a police chase ended in Pasadena. Came to a wild end just after 2 in the morning. Gulf Freeway at 2351, FM 2351. The driver crashed through a fence and came to a stop in some grass. No word on what sparked the chase, but the driver was arrested.
Well, a 10-year-old boy is recovering this morning after deputies say he was accidentally shot by his aunt. The shooting was reported yesterday evening at the Chisholm Trail Apartments near Rankin Road in the Greenspoint area. Deputies say the 19-year-old woman mishandled a gun while she was taking photos with it. That child was rushed to the hospital where he underwent surgery and is expected to survive. Deputies say the aunt is cooperating with the investigation. Opioid company Mallinckrodt has reached a $1.6 billion settlement agreement stemming from the opioid crisis. The company says the deal with attorney generals for 47 states and U.S. territories resolves all drug-related claims against the company and its subsidiaries. Funds will be used to help take care of addiction costs and additional needs. Mallinckrodt will pay plaintiffs over an 8-year period and enter its generics business into Chapter 11 bankruptcy.
There's a tumbleweed invasion. Not in the desert. It's going down in rural Washington state. Drifting along with the tumbling tumbleweeds. Some folks have to dig through tumbleweeds just to get out of their homes or go out the back door. They blocked in some porches and whatnot. Garages, too, by the way. One family says they went to the store. When they got home, the house was covered.
Oh, wow.
In those tumbling tumbleweeds. Hey, they say all roads lead to Rome, but all trails lead to Houston.
Yeah, this morning we're catching up with one trail ride headed to Houston for the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. Tanaya is out in this chilly morning with all those trail riders. Good morning, Tanaya. Did you get some breakfast?
I did not get my breakfast yet, Amy, but you know, you got to do the work before you can eat the breakfast. We are about to saddle up Bianca right now. This is one of the many horses who's been participating with the Southwestern Trail Riders of Houston, so he's getting her ready to go. And I am going to talk with the trail boss herself, Rosetta Gray. So thanks for waking up with us bright and early. You guys started in West Columbia. Now you're in Fresno. How has this journey been? It's been a pretty intense with the rain in this weather.
Oh, yes. Oh, the other day, by the time we got up and on the horses,
It's like the bottom flew out. It just started pouring down, raining. But we was already in motion, and we just thank God that it was raining, but it wasn't cold and raining. So it was no lightness, so it was no danger to the horses or anything. It was just raining. And now it's windy. So this morning we're probably going to see a lot of rodeos because these horses going to be really frisky.
I know. We've seen a couple of them bucking around and jumping around just because of the wind. But how do they handle the elements like this? It looks like Bianca's doing okay.
Yeah, well, they used to it because they're outdoors all the time. So they go through the rain. And my horses, they can just go inside of their stalls and come out, and a lot of times they stand out there. I said, why are they standing up in the rain? Then they go back out there, they don't went in the inside, so.
They do.
Yeah.
And you have about 250 riders participating this year, 9 wagons, big group, so excited. Everyone's starting to wake up now. It is about 6 o'clock, so people are going to start waking up to get out and get ready, grab their breakfast, and head on this trail. But we are going to have more on your amazing story coming up, you guys. I'll tell you all about her in about 30 minutes.
All right.
Awesome.
So much fun and such a cool tradition. All right, hey, guess what day it is? It's Hump Day, but it's also Senior Scholarship Day.
Yeah, you know it. Coming up, we're going to check out a trip I took to Lizzo's old high school, Elsig. We're going to introduce you to a very deserving student this morning.
But was Lizzo there? Ooh. I'll just stick to the weather. Okay, so let's take you outside into Galveston. You can see the palm trees blowing out there, and temperatures are dropping to the 50s, but the majority of us in the 40s. It's cold and windy. Bundle up. I'll give you some information about a wind advisory and talk about the freeze that we're expecting for tonight.
Burr, burr, burr is the only thing I've got for that. We've got our first accident at the 6 o'clock hour. This is over at the frontage lane there. That's at 225 at Underwood. Right now, not causing much of a backup, but we are starting to see some slows. I'll have your traffic times coming up right after the break.
Hey, it is Senior Scholarship Surprise time. This week, Owen got to deliver the good news and that big check.
I love it. This week's recipient, number 2 in her class of more than 800. She's involved in several activities, including class president. And after facing some health challenges, she started an outreach organization called Assure, or A-Leaf Students United to Reinvest in Education. It was built to support other students who needed emotional and academic support. So this incredible young woman is this week's Texas Mattress Makers KPRC Senior Scholarship winner. So here we are at Elsig High School, home of the mighty Rams, to surprise another hardworking student with a big check. And let me tell you, this student's pretty mighty herself. Hey, sorry to interrupt, guys. My name's Owen from KPRC Channel 2. We do a scholarship deal every year, and we find 20 amazing students all around the area. And we give out scholarship money. And we'd like to present this $2,500 check on behalf of us and Texas Mattress Makers to Elizabeth Ogolo. Well, hello there. Surprise. What compelled you to help others?
When I was going through my situations and my circumstances, I really had wished that there was somebody to help me. And I thought that if I was able to see something happening to someone else, and I would just wanted to offer myself to help somebody else.
The neuroscience, is that what you want to study?
Yes.
How does that lead you there?
I'm a curious person, and so when I find something and I don't know the answer, automatically my brain is like, what is it, what is it, what is it? And neuroscience was just perfect, so.
And do you know where you're going to school?
I recently got admitted to Stanford University, so, and UT as well. Wherever that takes me, I really don't know yet. Come around March, we'll see.
What do you think about your classmate, guys, huh?
I'm Elizabeth Ogolo, and I am a KPRC Texas Mattress Makers Scholarship winner.
Oh, yeah. She was great, too. Just another outstanding kid. She's in the National Honor Society, but she's also in other honor societies for science, math, history, and hard work's paying off, and she's got some great choices. Stanford, UT, you can't go wrong. Congratulations, Elizabeth, and everyone at Elsig High School.
Yes, congratulations. All students considered for the KPRC Texas Mattress Maker Scholarship have been nominated by their high schools. You can keep up with our winners throughout the semester by logging on to click2houston.com/scholarships.
We'll check in on Decision 2020 coming up. Some fireworks in South Carolina, if you will. Lots of yelling and screaming over each other, the candidates did last night. And we'll break down the debate when we come back here on Channel 2.
Indecision 2020. The 10th Democratic debate is now over, but heads might still be spinning after the battle between the 7 candidates who qualified for last night's debate. Democrat and billionaire Tom Steyer joined the stage as the 7th candidate, but it was Bernie Sanders that got a lot of the flack as the others tried to slow his momentum going into Saturday and then Super Tuesday. NBC's Susan McGinnis is live in D.C. with more on last night's debate. Susan.
Amy, good morning. Explosive and chaotic is how many are describing last night's 10th Democratic debate in Charleston. There was a lot of yelling, a lot of interrupting. The objective of Bernie Sanders' opponents appeared to be to slow him down on his very fast pace toward the nomination. He took it from all sides yesterday. Everybody talking about everything from how he's going to pay for Medicare for all, why he's embracing Fidel Castro, his record on gun rights, his record on his voting record on guns. Tom Steyer, as you mentioned, said, I don't believe that the government takeover of large parts of the economy is going to work for the working people of America. So all of them trying to stop his advance, while Sanders tried to land a few blows of his own. He came out and criticized Joe Biden about making bad trade deals. Biden, of course, the front runner in South Carolina, going after the African-American vote. They're talking a lot last night about his work with civil rights and civil liberties. Bloomberg taking some heat from Elizabeth Warren, as he did in the last debate in Las Vegas. The group did seem united on one topic, and that is an inadequate White House response so far to the coronavirus. So South Carolina votes this weekend. Next week is Super Tuesday, and you can expect after that for the Democratic field to dwindle.
All right, that's a lot to keep track of, but thanks for the rundown. Thanks, Susan.
6:17 here at Channel 2 News Today. Yesterday was a huge win for 26 million Americans battling asthma every day. The FDA moved to approve the first ever generic inhaler. This opens up more options for folks struggling to pay for medication. Coming up on Today, NBC's medical correspondent, Dr. John Torres, will break down how this will further impact Americans and why the approval is so important. Prince Harry's back in the UK. Today, he made a trip to Scotland to promote his eco-tourism initiative, Travelist. During the event, he asked to be called just Harry. This is among the last of his royal duties. It comes after Buckingham Palace announced Harry and Meghan will officially be out of the royal family fold April 1st. I was going to ask at the top, do we even call him Prince Harry anymore? I guess he answered that question, didn't he?
No, all of a sudden, he's not as cute. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
But I love how Amy is always going to be honest.
It's like, oh, just Harry? Oh,
I don't know.
Right, no. Just kidding. It's 6:18 this morning. I don't know how traffic is, but it won't be long before we're seeing trail riders and, coming down the road.
Great point, yeah, because in 2 days they're going to be coming in towards Memorial Park, and that always slows and closes things down. So if you're, out that way, just be careful if you see them. You're out in Fresno.
It's an awesome sight, though.
It is a wonderful sight. If you've never seen it, if you're new to town and you have not been through your first rodeo, it is amazing to watch. You're like, what year are we?
Right, yeah, exactly.
It's a great thing. Anyway, we had one accident on 225 down on the south side there. A little bit of a slow. That's about it so far. It's mainly just the 6 o'clock, slowdowns that we get every day. So otherwise, we're looking good so far.
What season are we in?
Today's winter. I know. It depends on what half hour you're talking about here in Houston. No, it's going to be winter all day today, though. So windy, cold. You need to make sure that you dress in a few layers. If you have a little one that waits at the bus stop, make sure that they are ready to go this morning because it is brisk. That is a live look at our tower camera. It's moving up and down in that strong wind. Winds right now only at about 15 miles per hour. Believe it or not, it's going to get stronger as we go into the afternoon. And temperatures just continue to tumble. So we started off this morning around 4:30 at the top of our show in the 50s. Now we're down to 48 degrees. It's going to continue to get cold over the next couple hours before we try and have a little rebound this afternoon. At the coast right now, we're still in the 50s. Wind advisory is in effect all the way through 6 p.m. A few of our wind gusts could be as strong as 35 miles per hour. That's what we've been seeing in Galveston this morning. And that's possible even in town as we go into the afternoon. There's a look at that measly warm up, maybe 54 degrees. The bonus is we do have beautiful sunshine. It's just going to be cold and very windy, so kind of deceiving if you're just inside looking out the window. Wind speeds right now 15 miles per hour at Bush Airport, 21 at the coast. Again, that is a sustained wind, and our winds are gusting between 30 and 35 miles per hour. So we are already making that wind advisory level at this point. Extremely high tree pollen today. You put that with a 35 mile per hour wind gust, it's going to blow everywhere. So we always always expect to have bad allergies this time of year, but the wind is going to make it worse, and that is going to spread it. So the allergy issue is still going to be very high as we go into Thursday and Friday and Saturday because the wind's going to blow it everywhere. Tonight, the winds calm down. That will allow our temperatures to bottom out, and the coldest part of our snap is tomorrow morning. So this is a look at 7 a.m. Freezing temperatures reaching as far south as Angleton. Make sure that you're protecting people, pets, and plants. The good news is we have a weekend warm up in the forecast. That ridge of high pressure, it's going to move off to the east. It brings back the south breeze, and that is going to bring back 70s for Saturday and Sunday. But until then, be ready to enjoy our winter weather. The good news is here in Houston only lasts a couple days, right, Justin? Over to you.
Yes, ma'am, it certainly does. That's the reason why I moved down here, is because it only lasts for about a hot cup of hot chocolate, and that's about it. All right, let's talk about what's happening out there so far. Notice that we've got a couple of spots that are starting to get a little more aggressive, so we're going to have to keep a real close watch on things. In fact, I've got a new accident at 225 in Scarborough. Let me go there real quick on the traffic camera and show you what it looks like. We've got two cars, it looks like, involved, but notice it's the least two left lanes. Everyone's having to kind of shove over to the side here. That's going to start some backups, and in fact, this is what it looks like. You can see it's already starting to affect folks in the Allendale area. If you live around there and you take 225 to get up towards the East Loop, just be ready because the backup is already beginning. And this accident just happened a couple of minutes ago. Slows as well coming in on the Gulf Freeway. We're also seeing the same thing, kind of widen things out. Notice that we've got a continuation of a little bit of traffic starting to pick up on the West Loop and jump into downtown right now. Same thing, 59 starting to pick up traffic. 10 going outbound, and of course inbound right near Lyons Avenue. I'll continue to let you know what we've got in terms of drive time, guys, and if we got any more accidents coming up here in just a bit.
All right, thank you, Justin. We're coming off of another bad day for Wall Street.
That coronavirus worries wiping out even more gains. That's 2 days in a row now. Maribel's with us live. Good morning.
Good morning, and this two-day sell-off has pushed stocks into the red for the year. I'll have all the numbers. That's headline from the NASDAQ market site in Times Square.
Back at 6:25, Virgin Galactic is back and ready to send you into orbit. But first, the big concerns on Wall Street after 2 brutal days with coronavirus concerns. Let's check in with Maribel live at the NASDAQ market site. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Owen. Another sharp sell-off on Wall Street yesterday on worries over the coronavirus. The Dow was down 879 after falling more than 1,000 points Monday. NASDAQ fell 255 points, and the S&P 500 was down 97. The two-day sell-off has wiped out $1.7 trillion of stock market value alone from the S&P 500. That's according to one estimate. Dow, NASDAQ, and the S&P 500 are now all lower for the year. As for how today's trading looks like, futures are now pointing to a lower open. They were lower, they were higher, and they're lower again, so I'm sure it's going to be a little bit volatile. Virgin Galactic plans to resume ticket sales for space tourism. The company backed by Sir Richard Branson is hoping to launch flights this year. Virgin Galactic says it is working on testing and approval for the space launch system. The flights could cost upwards of $250,000. The trips are expected to take 90 minutes, with passengers experiencing 3 to 4 minutes of weightlessness. So far, more than 600 potential customers have put down $80 million collectively in deposits for the trips to the edge of space. Owen and Amy, I may not be going to space, but I will see you guys in like 2 weeks.
Oh,
yay. Can't wait. Yeah, a little rodeo visit.
Oh, awesome.
Love it. By the way, that's $2,700 roughly a minute for space. So
ooh, that's an expensive vacation.
If you got the cash.
Maribel, we look forward to seeing you. Yes, we're going to get some breakfast tacos and all that good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, they're freaky fast, but now they're in trouble with the FDA.
Coming up, what Jimmy Johns is accused of doing that ended with 22 people getting sick.
And I'm health reporter Haley Hernandez. If you've ever considered eyelash extensions or you have some, there's a warning you need to hear coming up.
And the West Loop looking pretty good so far at Westheimer. We are seeing a little bit of traffic starting to pick up, but I do have an accident out on 225. I'll tell you where that is, how backed up that is, and what we've got for the rest of your drive times coming up.
And hold on to that steering wheel, folks. The wind is picking up. You can see our camera moving up and down over downtown. Our winds coming in at 20 miles per hour with a wind advisory in effect through 6 p.m. And temperatures continue to tumble. We're in the 40s right now. Meanwhile, it's time to rodeo, and we have a weekend warm-up in the forecast. A lot to talk about coming up.
Live from KPRC, this is Channel 2 News Today.
Hey, bundle up. The winds are whipping this morning. We've got a chilly start to this Wednesday. We're talking about how long you're going to need your jacket or your coat before spring comes back.
This morning, coronavirus concerns are on the rise. The product already selling out at Houston stores. And what one local expert that is warning us about the virus.
Decision 2020 heats up with a fireworks show of a debate in South Carolina. No one held back in this Democratic cage match.
Joe has voted for terrible trade agreement. No. Joe voted for the war in Iraq.
We've got more from the debate ahead and who the candidates are trying to slow down.
Hey guys, I just lost my hat because of all this wind out here, but I am taking my horse down the Old Town Road. Actually, this is Bianca, one of the many horses of the Southwestern Trail Riders, making her way now to Memorial Park. We are live in Fresno, coming up.
Oh no, good morning everyone, I'm Amy Davis. It looks cold out there, that wind.
Did you see that flag? It was whipping.
Yeah. And when we outfitted Tanaya on Monday with a white hat, and she has those brand new boots, I just thought she was going to the cook-off. I didn't know she was just going to be out there.
Braving the mud.
Yeah, so we're going to have more of that wind. Like,
oh, yes.
All day today?
All day today. So we have a wind advisory in effect. That stays in effect through 6 p.m. this evening. So as you get out and about, grab every layer you got. You're going to be happy that you have it. Temperatures right now are in the 40s, but it does feel a touch colder because of the strong wind. So a few wind gusts could reach up to 35 miles per hour. That's what we're seeing at the coast right now. And again, the wind advisory the entire day. You're going to feel it on the side of your car, so hold on to that steering wheel tight. And if you are towing anything today, please keep that in mind. Tie everything down in the bed. There's a look at those wind speeds, about 15 miles per hour here in town, 20 at the coast. It's going to pick up the pollen, and please keep in mind extremely high levels of tree pollen. So it's going to be a bad allergy day. Justin, after the temperatures have bottomed out in the 40s, we're not going to see a big warm up, only the low 50s. And we have freezing temperatures in the forecast for tonight. I'll let you know who needs to prep for that coming up.
Yeah, it's going to be real chilly as we head towards tomorrow. One of the reasons why is because that wind's going to die off. We've got an accident out there. This is one I've been tracking here for about 20 minutes. This is at 225 at Scarborough going inbound towards the East Loop. You can see right now it's about 2 lanes over on the left side, so it's got everybody smashed over to the right. That is causing a backup. Notice that goes all the way right across towards Allendale. So if you're on and around that area, if you're in Galena Park and you work your way down towards 225, watch out for that. Obviously, the slows there, 45 as well. And same thing in 288. We had a stall sitting right off of Underwood Road. That has been cleared, but notice that we're still seeing that backup, not only there, but into the South Loop as it connects as well. Drive times are starting to pick up in some spots. Now 32 minutes from the Woodlands, 30 from out in Katy, 28 in Clear Lake. And if you're coming in from Kingwood right now, up near the East Tex, we're running about 35 minutes, guys.
Stapleton, thank you. 6:33 developing this morning. New warnings about coronavirus, although still, thankfully, no cases in Houston.
Yeah, the CDC says an outbreak in the U.S. isn't a matter of if, but when. Officials say some face masks, like the ones we often see during outbreaks and here in this video, they say those do help. They're apparently selling like hotcakes here in Houston. We spoke with one expert about the outbreak, what you need to know, and Channel 2's Sophia Ojeda has more on that this morning.
Good morning. That infectious disease expert from Memorial Hermann Hospital says that if the coronavirus were to hit the Houston area, that we would be ready for any kind of outbreak. Meanwhile, people across the Houston area are scrambling to get a hold of those N95 respirator masks. They are hoping that that will help protect them and keep their families safe.
To reassure you.
Infectious disease expert Dr. John Butler from Memorial Hermann Hospital Sugarland says they are prepared to take patients and keep them in isolation if necessary.
The initial data that's coming out of China is really the highest risk population are the elderly and patients with comorbidities.
He says children are actually at a lower risk for contracting the illness.
Fortunately for all of us that have children, it looks like that it's a much lower risk. Only 1% of the children under the age of 9 contracted the COVID-19 in China.
The CDC says the virus is spread through sneezing and coughing. So far, 57 Americans have been infected. Officials warn people to be ready for a crisis here at home. and add the N95 respirator mask is an efficient way to stop the spread. Many here in Houston have been scrambling to get one.
It was quite the search to find anything.
Purchase orders were going to be delegated for priority to major healthcare institutions or major government agencies.
The big name stores like Lowe's and Home Depot are actually restricting the number of respirator masks that someone can purchase. One medical store that we checked with sells a box of 20 for $190. We did shop around and look for which stores have them, which are back ordered or sold out. We've got a complete list on our website, clicktohouston.com/health. That's where you can check out which stores have them, which stores don't. Reporting live in the medical center, Sophia Okita, KPRC, Channel 2 News.
All right, Sophia, thank you so much. You know, concerns are running high in Tokyo as the country grapples with preparing for the 2020 Summer Olympics while battling coronavirus concerns. Japanese leaders, that is, are downplaying the Olympic organizers' concerns that they may need a plan B for the games. One Olympic Committee member said yesterday if it proves too dangerous, organizers would likely have to cancel or postpone. And he wasn't speaking officially for the IOC. It was just his opinion. But this morning, the Tokyo leader says as of now, they are moving along as planned. In South Korea, numbers continue to rise. A U.S. soldier is now confirmed to be infected with coronavirus there. More than 1,200 people in total have coronavirus. 11 in South Korea have died. For more on the coronavirus outbreak as it develops, be sure to stay with us online and at online, that is at click2houston.com.
The grandfather of an 18-month-old girl who fell to her death from a Royal Caribbean cruise ship window is now taking a plea deal. Salvatore Nello was playing with his granddaughter when he picked her up to knock on a window. He says he thought there was glass, but she slipped from his hand, falling to her death. Well, as part of the deal, Anello will serve no jail time, and he'll be allowed to serve probation at home in Indiana. Turning now to Decision 2020, the dust is settled after a fiery debate last night in South Carolina. The top 6 candidates were joined by a 7th as Tom Steyer entered the stage after qualifying for the debate. But this might not have been a good one to join as fireworks and mudslinging took over the stage. At times, it seemed like more for a free-for-all as different opponents clashed.
Senator Warren, that is a very serious charge that you leveled at the mayor. Yes. You told a woman to get an abortion. What evidence do you have of that? Her own words. And Mayor Bloomberg, could you respond to this?
I never said it. Period. End of story.
Well, besides attacks on Bloomberg, Senator Bernie Sanders was a big target. He's the front runner right now, and other candidates are working hard to slow down his campaign.
Where it comes down to Donald Trump with his nostalgia for the social order of the 1950s and Bernie Sanders with the nostalgia for the revolutionary politics of the 1960s. This is not about what coups were happening in the 1970s or 80s. This is about the future. This is about 2020.
Pete mentioned, I'm hearing my name mentioned a little bit tonight.
We're going to have to wait for Saturday in South Carolina and then Super Tuesday to see if the debate has any effect on voters.
Well, today is Ash Wednesday. The start of Lent lasts for 40 days leading up to Easter Sunday. Many believers will mark the occasion with an ash cross on their forehead to represent death and repentance. Some Christians will also choose to fast or give something up for Lent. Easter Sunday this year is April 12th. All right, the chilly and windy weather can't stop a tradition. The trail riders are making their way slowly into town for the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo.
Yes, some might say that chilly weather is part of the tradition.
I think so.
Tanaya has been out there with them all morning long. So Tanaya, how many groups are part of the whole trail ride into Houston ahead of the rodeo?
Amy, there are so many. There are a dozen groups heading into Memorial Park, making their way there right now. We are live in Fresno with the Southwestern Trail Riders of Houston. These are just 2, check them out, of the 9 wagons they have. They have about 250 people. And one of the things that makes this group extra unique is the ladies who lead them.
They say all trails lead to Houston. And the Southwestern Trail Riders of Houston are one of a dozen groups making their way to town right now ahead of the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo.
The ride is great.
They started in West Columbia and are traveling more than 100 miles to Memorial Park.
We have 9 wagons and about 250 people.
And that group of riders and wagons are led by 2 strong women.
It's an honor. You know, you just feel privileged and
It's an honor to be the only female trail boss.
It feels real good to be responsible, to bring a trail ride down the road. I mean, and when we do it, no accidents, no problems at all. I mean, it does. It makes us stick our chest out.
Trail boss Rosetta Gray has been doing the trail ride for more than 40 years.
Yeah, they need to come harness them up.
She leads the group on her horse, Buck.
Buck has done many trail rides.
Yes, and Buck is spirited too.
And she even let me try my hand at riding him. Gray says one of her favorite parts of the week-long trail ride is getting to see all the people.
So when you ride, you see the people on the street and that they be glad to see you and stuff, so you waving and having a good time.
Oh, man, Buck, go! And we are having a good time out here despite all of this wind. We've all lost our hat a few times already this morning, but you guys are just so, whoop, there we go. You guys are just so excited to get going again.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
We're entering into Harris County, so that means we're getting closer to Memorial Park. And that's what we're all excited about in the parade downtown.
And excited for that parade, but you can see the wind whipping out here, but we are not stopping that from having a good time out here. All right, live in Fresno, back to you guys. I'm trying not to lose this again.
I know, good luck.
Well, we always say hold on to your hats for a reason, right? Don't we? Thanks, Tanaya.
I want to check in now with Britta. I mean, geez, all day we're looking at wind like that?
Yes, all day. So it's all about dressing in layers. We have temperatures right now that are continuing to tumble. We're getting down to the 40s, and then we'll have a slight rebound this afternoon, but not much. We're going to stay in the low 50s today. And when you factor in the strong wind, it is going to feel very cold. Now, the winds will die down later tonight. I know it sounds like good news, but when the winds get calm, it allows our temperatures to fall dramatically. And we are expecting a freeze. This is early tomorrow morning. Temperatures possibly as low as 28 degrees. So make sure that you protect people, pets, and plants. Justin, pipes are going to be just fine this time. We'll talk about a weekend warm-up coming up next.
Yeah, well, nice to be seeing that weekend warm-up because it is chilly out there this morning as you've been watching today's live shot. East Freeway at Greens, we had a bit of a stall. That has now started to clear. This is the outbound lane. So far, so good. Hopscotch to a couple of other spots. We're still watching this accident over towards 225 in Scarborough. Still those left two lanes. Roads are getting by, or I should say folks are getting by on the right side, but you can tell just how windy it is. If you jiggle the camera around there, that's part of the problem we're running into. Elsewhere, though, we've got not only that one accident, but a new accident here. This is a heavy truck stall that's over towards 134. We're going to keep a watch on that, do some investigating, see if that was wind related. And of course, heavy drive times are starting to pick up as well, coming up here in just a bit.
All right, Stapleton, thank you. Astros rested the big hitters, but dropped another spring training game yesterday. It was against the Marlins. 7-4 was the final. Stros have two games today. It's a split squad starting around noon, 12:05 against the Cards, and then 12:10 against the Mets. Getting your groceries without having to deal with a cashier.
Yeah, coming up, I'm going to show you how Amazon's first cashierless store works.
And next, what you need to know about eyelash extensions that will keep your eyes healthy and make lashes last.
Hey, time now to get a check of our consumer headlines this morning. Coca-Cola is being impacted by the coronavirus. The company says the disease has disrupted its supply chain, and artificial sweeteners from China that are used in its diet and zero sugar drinks could be in shorter supply if the outbreak continues. Coca-Cola revealed that it has initiated contingency supply plans and doesn't foresee a short-term impact. Well, sandwich chain Jimmy John's is in trouble with the Food and Drug Administration. The FDA sent a warning letter to food safety organizations for food violations to the company. Jimmy John's is accused of putting contaminated clover sprouts and cucumbers on sandwiches sold in Iowa in November and December of 2019. They say 22 people got sick from eating that food. Jimmy John's says sprouts have been removed from all restaurants until further notice. Amazon opened its first full-sized cashier-free grocery store in Seattle. Shoppers can walk in Amazon Go, scan a QR code from their Amazon mobile app at a turnstile, add items to their baskets, and walk out when they're finished. So the technology keeps track of the items and automatically drafts the payment. Zero human interaction is required. That store will staff a couple dozen people to help stock shelves and answer shoppers' questions, though.
All right, the future's here, huh?
Yeah, I guess so.
That's it. Britta's here, though. 646, cold.
Ooh, yeah, winter showed up big time. So yesterday we were in the mid-70s. This morning, our temperatures are actually continuing to tumble. So we're at 48 degrees currently at Bush Airport, 50 degrees at Hobby Airport, mid-50s at the coast. But look off to the northwest, low 40s between Brenham and Navasota. That cold air is really filtering in and taking over. After our temperature drop this morning, we're not going to see a huge warm up today. We'll be lucky to get back to the low 50s, but at least we'll have sunshine on our side. To make matters worse, on top of the cold air, we have very strong winds. A wind advisory is in effect through 6 p.m. and a few of our wind gusts could be up to 35 miles per hour. That's going to add a little insult to injury and make it feel a touch colder. So it's about dressing in layers today so you're prepared before you head out. Right now, our winds are at 15 miles per hour, 20 miles per hour at the coast. A few of our wind gusts right now, 29 in Sugar Land, 33 in Galveston. You're going to feel this against the side of your car with winds coming in from the northwest. Have a heads up if you come in along the East Tex Freeway, the Southwest Freeway. Those are going to be two of those freeways, especially over the flyovers, that you really want to hold on tight this morning. Meanwhile, tonight, the winds will become very calm. Perfect setup for a light freeze. And that freeze line is getting as far south as central portions of Brazoria County. The temperature range 28 degrees to about 32 degrees for at least 4 or 5 hours. So this light freeze could impact sensitive plants. And of course, you always want to protect pets and people. The good news is our touch of winter only lasting for a little while. By the time we get to Friday afternoon, we're back to the 60s, and this weekend, this ridge of high pressure off to our east will bring back that south breeze, and we're looking at 70s for Saturday and Sunday. Beautiful weather if you're going to be heading out towards the rodeo parade. Also, we have Dynamo with their season kickoff on Saturday, and Sabercats as well. Justin, over to you.
Hi, thank you very much, Britta. So far, so good. We are still watching this accident over at 225 at Scarborough. They've been there for about 30 minutes now, so notice that everyone's getting by over on the right side, but it's got at least one of two left lanes closed. That's one of the spots we've been watching. We've got there, and then also as you go back over the heavy truck accident a little further west over towards 134. So we're going to keep a watch on all of those, but not only there, but the South Loop at Kirby, flowing so far, so good on the south side. That's always nice to see. And then, of course, as we get towards the Katy Freeway out at Gessner, that also is going to be one of the spots that we'll watch, starting to see a little more heavy traffic moving on the inbound side. So you see over towards 288 at Airport, we got a vehicle stall. It's backed up behind it, starts to slowly check up as you get just north of there, working your way towards the 610 loop. And just about everybody else is starting to pick up those drive times. 25 in from Pearland. We're now looking at 36 minutes from both the Woodlands and Kingwood. 22 if you're coming out from 290 in Cypress. And the Katy Freeway right now stacking up at about 34 minutes.
All right, thanks a lot, Justin. Hey, everybody is doing it, it seems like. Those eyelash extensions. Yeah, but so we want to know, are they safe? And what do you need?
I'm the only one that doesn't have them at this
I
point.
don't have them.
The risk of the benefits, what are they? Haley Hernandez is here. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. You know, there's all kinds of looks, too. Classic, you can get lifts, gorgeous volume. The extensions are glued one by one to eyelashes to make it possible for women to feel glamorous and bright-eyed, even without makeup on. But the look comes with a warning to make sure they're done right.
Alpha Garcia knows all too well what settling for cheap eyelash extensions can do, since she had a bad experience getting them at a deep discount.
I found this girl on Facebook, and she was doing them at her house. Not even like a week later, they were already bugging me.
Now she'll only go to Wink Lash Bar off I-10. Here, a technician like Sarah Lestage walks you through the steps of selecting the length and curl, tapes your lashes down, and separates each tiny strand to glue on an extension. It's tedious work, and therefore Sarah wants you to protect the investment.
You want to keep them clean at all times, which means that at the end of the night when you wash your face, you also want to wash your lashes.
Dr. Zaina Almatazeb from Baylor College of Medicine says maintaining good hygiene on your lashes is critical in protecting your eye health, too. She's seen complications from lashes in patients with dry eye disease or allergies, since the glue can cause red, itchy reactions, or the lashes just don't do well at keeping allergens out.
When you make your eyes abnormally long, sometimes that would push the debris to the actual front of the eye and to the cornea. So that would irritate your eye more. And then there's data that shows it can also prevent you from closing your eye when you go to sleep. So you have a lot of dryness.
That's why Sarah says you don't want anything too long or heavy. She works to select the most natural fit for clients and warns against the idea of not touching your lashes to keep them intact. She says that only leads to trapping debris and allergens between lashes.
You need to make sure you're getting in between those lashes for sure, because makeup does kind of build upon our skin to get in between. The free radicals out in the air can affect your natural lashes as well.
Now, most chain lash stores offer memberships, but could range in price from $50 to $150, typically every 2 weeks. And while lashes are a luxury, everyone agrees that if you're going to do it, it's worth paying for high-quality products and medical-grade glue to cut down on allergic reactions and overall bad experiences.
Yeah, this trend's been around for a while. I mean, enough that all these stores are popping up that only do that.
Yeah, it's becoming more and more popular, so know what you're getting into.
All right, thanks a lot, Haley.
Coming up, final check of traffic and weather, 6:52 right now. And don't forget to follow us at click2houston.com. You'll get all the up-to-the-minute traffic updates you need. It's our What's Driving Houston page to help you avoid problems each and every morning. We'll be right back.
Only on 2 this morning, we're hearing from the woman who admits she stole Tillman Fertitta's identity.
Now, Channel 2's Brittany Jeffers is on the story outside Toyota Center this morning. Brittany, how'd she do this?
Yeah, good morning, guys. Well, we all know that Tillman Fertitta is a very well-known name here in Houston. Many know him as the owner of the Rockets, but this woman claims that she had no idea who he was when she purchased his information off the dark web. And 28-year-old mother of 2, Stephanie Hunter, says she bought his social security number on the dark web using Bitcoin for about $10, and then she used it to open up 2 credit cards in Fertitta's name. But identity theft prevention company LifeLock caught the theft. They alerted Fertitta, and he was able to call police before Hunter could buy anything. Hunter's next court date is next month, and she faces a felony charge of fraudulent use of identification information. Now, Channel 2 did get the chance to speak with this woman, and when we did talk to her, she called this a dumb mistake and apologized. Live near the Toyota Center, I'm Brittany Jeffers, KPRC, Channel 2 News.
Brittany, thank you. This morning, we're catching up with one trail ride heading into Houston for the rodeo.
Yeah, Tanaya has been out all morning long with the Southwestern Trail Riders. Good morning, Tanaya.
Good morning, guys. Yes, look at this flag whipping. The wind has been whipping all morning long. I'm live in Fresno this morning with the Southwestern Trail Riders of Houston. They started their journey in Columbia. We're in Fresno right now. They're going to leave at about 10 o'clock this morning, heading up 521, making their way to Houston, then to Memorial Park on Friday ahead of the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. We are in one of their 9 wagons, about 250 people. The sun is up, so they're starting to wake up now, getting excited for today's ride. Back to you guys.
All right, at least you got some shelter from the wind there.
There you go.
Hey, Justin, how's the traffic out on the roads?
Well, starting to pick up, Amy, as you might expect, but the good news is that our accident at 225 has cleared. That is always nice to see. This is North Loop at Shepherd. Looking good so far. We still have that stall at 288 at Airport. Notice it just behind it there, really starting to stack up. That, and we've just got a new one, a heavy truck stall. This is in the southbound lane. It's 69 in McGowan. This is really going to start stacking things up as well. Watch out for that. Of course, our drive times, we'll keep a very close watch on those. All starting to pop up into the 20, 35-minute range from the Woodlands out west towards Katy, Sugarland as well. All right, Britta, when are those winds going to relax?
Yeah, not until tonight. So wind advisory up through 6 p.m. with winds gusting up to 35 miles per hour. As they relax, our temperatures will continue to drop. We have a light freeze tonight, so take a quick look at your screen. This is what we're expecting early Thursday morning. If you missed it, go to my Facebook page. That's KPRC2 Britta Merwin. It's up on there, and we also have it on our website, click2houston.com. You need to prep your pets, plants, and people.
All right, and get some pistachios. It's pistachio day.
Okay, ice cream.